Today is a special day for me, so I'm going to review the iconic movie of my childhood. I think it's fitting to choose it now, since this year is the 20th anniversary of the film. So without further ado, let's talk about The Lion King. The Lion King never fails to move me emotionally. I could quote most of the movie's dialogue, even now. Hell, the music I just edited into the video puts a huge smile on my face. As you can tell, the nostalgia factor is very high on this movie. So let's look at what The Lion King does right. First off, the music is phenomenal. It's still one of the best soundtracks to a film that I've ever heard. Every single song is great to listen to. Circle of Life, I Just Can't Wait to Be King, Be Prepared, Hakuna Matata, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, even Timon's Hula Dance. What the movie also does well is the visuals. The Lion King is arguably one of the 3 best-looking Disney films ever made. The animators put so much work into getting the little details right. I mean, just think back to the sweeping opening scenes, or the terrifying spectacle of the stampede, or the final showdown between Simba and Scar on the very top of Pride Rock. Those scenes require endless amounts of dedication and hard work, and the animators who worked on that should be very proud of themselves. And since I've mentioned the characters, it's worth pointing out that they're supplied with an astonishing amount of A-list voice talent. We get Matthew Broderick, James Earl Jones, Whoopi Goldberg, Cheech Marin, Jim Cummings, Madge Sinclair, Rowan Atkinson, Jeremy Irons, and Nathan Lane, and that's just the more well-known of the actors. All of them do great jobs with who they're supposed to be. Broderick is the uncertain young lion who still suffers from guilt at his involvement in his father's death. Robert Guillaume is the shaman and mentor Rafiki. James Earl Jones provides the perfect voice for whom I consider to be the greatest father figure in film history. Jeremy Irons is charming and dangerous as Scar, and the hyenas manage to go from being dangerous adversaries to comic relief at the drop of a hat. I could praise this movie all day. There are so many moments I could talk about which strike a chord with me and move me to laughter and even tears on occasion. The opening scene, the stampede, the death of Mufasa, Simba and Nala's passionate reunion after spending so much time away from each other, Timon and Pumbaa riding into the film just when it all seems to be over, the big fight between lions and hyenas, seeing Mufasa in the clouds giving advice to his son, the comeuppance of Scar, and the gloriously triumphant ending. I really love this movie, and there's so much to love. But if I'm to properly review the film, I should talk about where a few flaws can be found. First off, the storytelling has a few holes here and there. Scar could have killed Simba instead of just banishing him. Simba and Nala's love story is a bit spontaneous. A meerkat in Africa somehow knows what the hula is, a baboon somehow knows martial arts, and Simba magically learns how to fly so he can turn the tables on Scar at a crucial point in the film. Morning Report is terrible. I can't even sit through the whole thing, it's that bad. It's more painful than the entirety of Lion King 1.5, because at least that was a separate entity we could safely ignore. They actually inserted this garbage song into the original cut that was already awesome. This is Greedo shooting first for my generation, and if I have to go through one more copy of The Lion King and find that abomination of an extra song, well, you get the idea. And finally, I am aware of Confused Matthew's infamous Lion King review. I've long considered making a response to his accusations about the film's quality, and even now I'm still on the fence about it. But either way, now is not the time to address Matthew's issues with the film. But in all fairness to The Lion King, it does teach a few valuable lessons that I think are really good for kids to know. You can't put the past behind you until you acknowledge it and learn from it. You shouldn't abuse the advantages you're given in life. You should instead embrace the responsibility that comes with those advantages. These are important lessons to learn in your life, and as much as people will sing the Hakuna Matata song, they will also remember that Simba chose to embrace his calling and give up his lazy escapism. It's a great character arc for our protagonist. This is one of those movies that I will never get tired of watching. I've watched it 100 times as a kid, and I'm sure I'll watch it 100 more times before I'm through. The emotional and aesthetic power of this film work on any age level. Whatever flaws The Lion King has are insignificant next to its positive traits. So here's to my 5th year of reviewing films on YouTube, and here's to 20 years of my favorite Disney film.